get underway. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Oops, just give it 1/2 a second. Come on, switch it on over, Mike. Is there another packet here?
There's one up there for Mike. I put it in front of you,
right here.
Sally.
Got
Here you go.
it. I got it.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. The August 9th, 2016 regular meeting of the Environmental Commission. Please read the statement of compliance.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 223, Public Law 1975, adequate notice as defined in Section 3D of Chapter 231 PL 1975 of this regular meeting has been provided to the public and the press on January 12, 2016 by delivering to the press such notice and posting same at the municipal building and filed with the office of the Township Clerk, as well as posted on the Township website. Salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Sally Rinker,
Here.
Beverly Budz,
Yes.
Rich Carson,
Here.
Dale Disney,
Here.
Doreen Edwards, here. Angie Metler, here. Diane Wexler, here. Edward Mitch,
Here.
and Michael Fury.
Here.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public. Do I have a motion to open the meeting to the public? That was from...
Hey.
Okay.
Second.
The meeting is open to the public. Is there any member of the public wishing to share any comments? Okay, not seeing anyone wanting to come forward. Do I have a motion to close to the public?
Motion. Second.
Motion. Yeah.
I feel like 3 and 4 people. I don't know how you keep up with it.
I know, it would be good, it would be good if you say who makes the motion. Sometimes even
I'm
when I
trying to
listen
figure it out, actually, when 2 or 3.
Even when I listen to the recording, sometimes it's hard to tell.
Okay.
Dale and I were talking first, so Dale first means got it.
Okay, we'd like to ask our vice chair to share the land use board report.
Okay.
And by the way, in the future, I would like to ask if we could combine number 6 and number 9 so that the report and the review could just be all done at the same time slot. Is that in agreement with everyone?
No objection.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So in the future agendas, we'll just put it together. Thank you.
Okay. At the last land use board meeting, we heard an application for an addition to the house to create a mother-daughter situation for them on corner of Samus and Holderness. The engineering report was very thorough. There were no environmental concerns. He addressed one thing as far as runoff because it would create more of a hill. And they're going to take care of the drainage issues, and the land use board approved the addition on the house. So that's as far as activities that have happened.
Anybody have any questions for Diane on this issue?
Since we did have a meeting last month, when did this happen?
July 26th. That resolution is going to be approved tomorrow.
That's what I was getting at.
So, gonna be coming up tomorrow night is the one that's on the corner of 94, well, it's on 94 where it bends, in McAfee, by Andrea Drive. What they're looking for.
Is that the Exxon station?
Yes, that's the Exxon
Okay.
station. And what they're looking for is a bulk use ordinance, which they need, because they're required to put a canopy over the fuel, over the fuel things. Yes,
They're required to?
apparently. This is the third gas station doing it in 2 months.
Well, I thought the last review was because it was good for the employees, better situation. I don't know that they have to do it.
It seems there's an environmental angle to it, because when it's raining, they want the rain to not be
Wash away
mixing
the-
with oil and gas.
Mhm.
That may be, going on underneath the canopy area. So I think it's more environmental than,
Aesthetics.
a comfort,
Yeah, we didn't hear about our employees. Anyway, so, the reasons for bulk use and not just regular variance is because it's already a, site that's under special bulk use, conditionally permitted. So to put the canopy on over the pumps, they both, the engineering and, the planning person, reviewing the application. Now, there are no environmental concerns because the gas station's already all in cabin. They're not going to dig anything up, the canopy's gonna be on the surface, just going up to, over the pumps, so that when it's raining, when there's other issues, there's not a mix between water and the gas. I can pass these pictures around. If we wanna look at the maps, like what the maps. And canopy is gonna go right over the pumps. I mean, I think I can put it over there so everybody can.
Sure, yeah, but if you want.
Yeah. They're not gonna be making any additional changes.
So most of these gas stations have like mini canopies already.
A lot of them do,
Just making
yes.
them larger, is
A
that-
lot of them do, but this one doesn't. The last one we approved didn't, and one that's still pending doesn't.
That's one of the older ones.
Was this issue to address, plans include no information regarding downspouts for the new structure. The application is clear out, rainwater will be conveyed off the canopy. I'd be curious as to how that is going to be accomplished.
Well, Corey will address that tomorrow night.
It would be an engineering, issue.
Excuse me, is that the engineering report for this application?
Yes, Harold E. Keller
Okay, yeah, because I knew I copied it.
Dated
for you.
August 9, 2016.
This-
Yeah, I copied that for you.
So over here, if you all want to look, is in the shaded area is where the canopy's gonna be. They're not digging up anything, it's done, already had them. There were really no, the whole, this is all of them. They're not taking down trees, they're not really doing anything.
And that's the gas station across from the McAfee Firehouse.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, they were sealing the driveway this weekend. Which is fine.
All that trouble to directing rainwater off of the roof.
Well, I have.
Yeah,
That's what
right
it
here,
says in the,
yeah.
report.
There's no information regarding downspouts for the
Oh,
new
Well, but
structure.
Corey will make sure that.
The applicant needs to
who's gonna have to explain it, or they won't get variance.
It's an engineering requirement.
Yeah,
actually.
Corey's very thorough, so. The other application is still pending, so, they actually may withdraw, so many applications get withdrawn. But it's pretty much the same thing, canopies over their fuel pumps.
Any other questions for Diane on this application? Thank you, Diane.
Okay.
Just in keeping with dispatching of business, I received a certified letter. I'll read it into the record from EID, Ide and Mapatka LLC, Civil Engineering and Land Surveying. Apparently, there's an applicant, James DiPiazza, doing a septic alteration at 117 Rowayanda Road, Vernon, block 102.14, lots 9 and 10. I'll just read the letter into the record. Dear Sir or Madam, this letter shall serve as notice that the above referenced applicant plans to install a septic system in a wetlands buffer. The location of the property is referenced above. A plan of the system enclosed shows a regional map and tax map, lots and blocks. Enclosed is a letter from the Board of Health approving the plan. The proposed activity is not directly or indirectly caused by an expansion of the facility. There is no alternative location on the site to place the septic disposal system. So now they will be required to go to the state to get the permit to do this. So basically, this is, I would say, stands as informational for our commission, but the DEP certainly has the jurisdiction and the authority over this. Okay? What do we normally do with correspondence like this? Secretary hold on to it?
You just
Do I hold
file
on
it.
to it?
You read it into the record and you file it. If the commissioners have any concerns, they note it.
Okay.
How close was that to the wetland?
I can pass this around so you can see. It's in the buffer. In the buffer is what it says, so. The map is not very,
Will be getting an exemption, is that what you're saying?
it's not very descriptive.
Yeah,
They will be
there's
getting
two
the
wayway on the
25.
roads, as you know, the one from Highland Lakes going up to Barry Lakes, and then there's a wayway on the road off of 638.
Mhm.
So, and then the one going up to Barry Lakes, right next to Lake Wanda, and then the other, wayway on the road, there is low-lying ground in that area, so just for clarity, you may wanna.
Well, this will be subject to DEP approval. So this is beyond really the jurisdiction of the township, really.
Sure.
I'm just curious, did the buffer, I don't know when the buffer, did that ever change as far as what was established with the DEP when this was
The
done initially?
DEP will confirm on their end what they believe is the buffer. They have, they have their own maps that they go by. Whether there'll be another requirement for DEP to come out and reconfirm,
Right.
that may happen, right, Mike?
Yes.
That may happen. Yeah, they usually stay on top of it best they can, we hope, right?
Yeah, it's hard to tell from this whether it's.
So it's not that they're trying to do a new septic in a buffer, it's a
Right.
malfunctioning septic
Right.
that needs to be repaired. So the state is usually amenable to those types of repairs happening. So, okay? Okay, so at this point, I'd just like to address the fact that I know that there was quite an aggressive agenda that was scheduled before I was appointed to the commission. First of all, I want to thank the public, and I want to say hello to everyone here on the commission. I want to acknowledge the mayor for the appointment. I didn't ask for the appointment. There was a decision made to make a change, and I was asked to take the position, and I accepted. So I thought that tonight would be a good night to discuss procedure and protocol. There seems to be some back and forth, some confusion. I as a person who takes on anything, am either all in or I'm all out. And it's my intention that we learn to work together, because I'm here for the purpose of which this commission is in place for. That's my only purpose, to do a job here. And I'm assuming and hoping that that's why everyone is here as commissioners on this board as well. So, though we can talk about some other things that maybe we can plan for the next agenda, I do want to make some statements into the record regarding our procedures and protocols. Okay. I believe it's important to agree on how we will operate, to lay the groundwork so that when we go forward, we can move forward in a beneficial way that suffices the purpose of the commission. Okay. Our town code and the statutes for the commission are a pretty easy read, and I think if we just make the commitment to abide by them, we're not going to go wrong. Okay. The mayor has a directive that we partake in Vernon
May I
issues.
interrupt you for 1 second before you continue? I assume following state statutes includes our own government, correct? Including
Of course
the mayor's
it does,
office?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I did say town code and statutes.
Okay, good.
Yep, yes, I did. So the mayor has a directive that he would like us to focus our energy and actions on town issues, okay? And I agree with that. And I think that there's enough for us to work on that is important and relative to our town. Now, of course, nothing's absolute, right? So suppose there is an issue that we feel that there's enough interplay or ramifications to the township itself, then I would propose that we bring the mayor in on that issue and have a discussion with him. Because when we act as a commission or a board or any committee, commission, or board that's appointed in this township, we are the face of the township. When we go out there, wherever we go, we are the face and the opinion of the town. And I think we have to be careful that when we do that we are in communication and agreement with the administration. Okay, we can't be acting as a rogue, on our own committee. We are appointed by this administration, and we are here to suffice the matters of Vernon Township first and foremost.
Does mean the mayor will attend one or two of our meetings?
I can't answer for the mayor, but I do believe that he would be cooperative if we need his involvement and assistance, that he will definitely, come and join us if we need that time with him, of course.
Well, I would personally
I don't see why
like
he
to have Mayor Shortway attend several of our meetings. In particular, have him, perhaps if he's available, come to the next meeting so he can explain exactly what his agenda is.
I don't think he's speaking of a particular agenda. I think he's
Well,
speaking.
I've read other things over the past 6 months, and I'm not going to judge because I want to hear what the man has to say.
Well,
But
he has.
it's important to get the direction that he envisions, rather than having to read it in the papers, and we all know how newspapers are accurate in their reporting.
Well, I don't want to speak for him at this time.
I know you don't want to speak for him.
If you want to speak about inviting him, we could speak about that
That's
as a commission.
exactly what I was saying.
And put that out there. But, may I go through some of the things I want
Sure.
to speak of before we get to that, okay? So again, nothing's absolute. And if we want to, venture out of the boundaries on an issue, I would like to hope that this commission could agree that we get a buy-in from the mayor and the administration so that when we're out there, our face is congruent with what this administration is looking to put out there as our reputation and as our stand in the community. Okay?
Well, I think some things we might not always agree on, and that's why you have a certain committee, so you get first opinions, and we might not all be in agreement with what the mayor wants, and that's what a part of our
And
mission is as
we'll
well.
address those things as they move along. Right? That's really all we can say.
Which is why
Right?
Which is
So-
why I want to see the mayor perhaps at the next meeting or the one thereafter come here and just give us a idea of what his vision is.
Okay, your opinion is understood.
I
May I
know it's
continue, Rich?
Oh, I thought you were done.
I'm not, no, I'm not done. And please, address, let the chair speak. Otherwise, we're not gonna have interruptions because then we won't get our business done.
Well, I am allowing you to speak.
That's interesting. Are you gonna be, does everybody have the, you're handing out, so people know what the law is, what our charge is? What our
I
charge?
think Jesse handed
Okay,
that
so-
out. I printed out the code, which is on the what's on the town code. I mean, everyone can look at
Where is
that.
that? Did you hand that out? So everybody can just get a
No, I
quick-
didn't hand it out.
All right.
I came to speak tonight instead of handing things
I'm
out.
just saying, everybody can read what the town code is and take it home with them, so.
So basically, I just want to say we're volunteers representing our township. That's it in a nutshell, okay? And to that, we hold our actions and behavior to the highest standards. And as the chair, I feel it's my duty to maintain proper decorum amongst the commissioners and how we deal with the public and anything other than that with the issues and persons involved in the issues. I think we need to take a look at reestablishing our roles in the commission, whether it's the chair, the commission members, or the secretary. I've listened to some of the meetings, and I have to say that I see some overlap and a lot of interruption as the meetings are going on, and it probably gets very confusing for the secretary sometimes, as well as tape can seem to meander and go off schedule, off agenda. And then the meetings last longer, and sometimes you lose that of energy for the things you need to pay attention to more. That's just my opinion. So, there has been another issuance, if everyone has seen their email, from John Urson. Originally, the mayor had put out a directive regarding our efforts in working with the employees and asking for supplies or help or assistance or anything we need to do within the township itself. And he's just asking, through the attorney, a reiteration of how we operate with that. And we'll get underway. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Whoops, just give it 1/2 a second. Come on, scooch you on over, Mike. Is there another packet here?
There's one up there for Mike. I put it in front
Oh,
of
right
you,
here.
Sally.
Got it.
Here you go.
I got it.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. The August 9th, 2016 regular meeting of the Environmental Commission. Please read the statement of compliance.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 223, Public Law 1975, adequate notice as defined in Section 3D of Chapter 231 PL 1975 of this regular meeting has been provided to the public and the press on January 12, 2016 by delivering to the press such notice and posting same at the municipal building and filed with the office of the township clerk, as well as posted on the township website. Salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Sally Rinker,
Here.
Beverly Budz.
Yes.
Rich Carson,
Here.
Dale Disney,
Here.
Doreen Edwards. Here. Angie Metler. Here. Diane Wexler. Here. Edward Mitch.
Here.
And Michael Fury.
Here.
Okay, at this time I'd like to open the meeting to the public. Do I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Motion.
That was from
Page.
Okay.
Second.
The meeting is open to the public. Is there any member of the public wishing to share any comments? Okay, not seeing anyone wanting to come forward. Do I have a motion to close to the public?
Motion. Second.
Motion, yeah.
I feel like 3 and 4 people. I don't know how you keep up with it.
It would be good, it would be good if you say who makes the motion. Sometimes even
I'm
when I
trying to
listen
figure it out actually when 2 or 3.
Even when I
say it.
listen to the recording, sometimes it's hard to tell.
Okay.
Dale and I were tied for first, so Dale first means got it.
Okay, we'd like to ask our vice chair to share the land use board report.
Okay.
And by the way, in the future, I would like to ask if we could combine number 6 and number 9, so that the report and the review could just be all done at the same time slot. Is that in agreement with everyone?
No objection.
That make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So in the future agendas, we'll just put it together. Thank you.
Okay. At the last land use board meeting, we heard an application for an addition to the house to create a mother-daughter situation for them on corner of Samus and Holderness. The engineering report was very thorough. There were no environmental concerns. He addressed one thing as far as runoff, because it would create more of an ill. And they're going to take care of the drainage issues, and the land use board approved the addition on the house. So that's as far as activities that have happened.
Anybody have any questions for Diane on this issue?
Since we did have a meeting last month, when did this happen?
July 26th. That resolution is going to be approved tomorrow.
That's what I was getting at.
So, did you want me to now combine the
Yeah.
applications under review?
Yes, let's do it.
Start
Let's
now?
do it that way tonight. Yeah.
Okay, so in here we have, under 9, site plan variance canopy for Route 515 gas station. That application is actually still pending. The one that's gonna be coming up tomorrow night is the one that's on the corner of 94, well, it's on 94 where it bends, in McAfee, by Andrea Drive. What they're looking for.
Is that the Exxon station?
Yes, that's the Exxon
Okay.
station. And what they're looking for is a bulk use ordinance, which they need, because they're required to put a canopy over the fuel, over the fuel things. Yes,
They're required to?
apparently. This is the 3rd gas station doing it in 2 months.
I thought the last review was because it was good for the employees, better situation. I don't know that they have to do
It
it.
seems there's an environmental angle to it, because when it's raining, they want the rain to not be
Wash away
mixing with
the-
oil and gas. That may be, going on underneath the canopy area. So I think it's more environmental than,
Aesthetics.
comfort,
Yeah, we didn't hear about our employees. Anyway, so, the reasons for bulk use and not just regular variance is because it's already a, site that's under special bulk use, conditions, conditionally permitted. So to put the canopy on over the pumps, they did both the engineering and, the planning person, reviewing the application. Now, there are no environmental concerns because the gas station's already all mechanical. They're not going to dig anything up, the canopy's going to be on the surface, just going up to, over the pumps, so that when it's raining, when there's other issues, there's not a mix between water and the gas. I could pass these pictures around. If we wanna look at the maps, I brought the maps
technically one.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
They're not gonna be making any additional changes.
So most of these gas stations have like mini canopies already.
A lot of them do,
Just make
yes.
them larger,
A
yeah.
lot of them do, but this one doesn't. The last one we approved didn't, and the one that's still pending doesn't.
That's one of the older ones.
Was this issued address? Plans include no information regarding downspout for the new structure. The application is filled out, rainwater will be conveyed off the canopy. I'd be curious to see how that is going to be.
Well, Corey will address that tomorrow night.
It would be an engineering, issue.
Excuse me, is that the engineering report for this application?
Harold E. Keller
Okay, yeah, because I knew I copied it.
Dated
for it.
August 9,
Okay.
2016.
Yeah, I copied that for it.
So over here, if you all want to look, is in the shaded area is where the canopy's gonna be. They're not digging up anything, it's done, already we've had them. There were really no, and the whole, this is all mechanical. They're not taking down trees, they're not really doing anything.
And that's the gas station across from the McAfee Firehouse.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, they were sealing the driveway this weekend. Which is fine.
All that trouble to direct the canopy, directing rainwater off of the roof.
Well, I have.
Yeah,
That's
right
what it
here,
says with
yeah.
the report.
There's no information regarding downspouts for the
Oh,
new
Well,
structure.
Corey will make sure that that's.
The applicant needs to, you know,
He's
explain.
gonna have to explain it, or they won't get variance.
It's an engineering requirement.
Yeah,
actually.
Corey's very thorough, so. The other application is still pending, so, they actually may withdraw, there's so many applications get withdrawn. But it's pretty much the same thing, canopies over their fuel pumps.
Any other questions for Diane on this application? Thank you, Diane. Okay. Just in keeping with dispatching of business, I received a certified letter. I'll read it into the record from EID, Ide and Lepatka LLC, Civil Engineering and Land Surveying. Apparently, there's an applicant, James DiPiazza, doing a septic alteration at 117 Rowayanda Road, Vernon, block 102.14, lots 9 and 10. I'll just read the letter into the record. Dear Sir or Madam, this letter shall serve as notice that the above referenced applicant plans to install a septic system in a wetlands buffer. The location of the property is referenced above. A plan of the system enclosed shows a regional map and tax map, lots and blocks. Enclosed is a letter from the Board of Health approving the plan. The proposed activity is not directly or indirectly caused by an expansion of the facility. There is no alternative location on the site to place the septic disposal system. So now they will be required to go to the state to get the permit to do this. So basically, this is, I would say, stands as informational for our commission, but the DEP certainly has the jurisdiction and the authority over this. Okay? What do we normally do with correspondence like this? Secretary hold on to it?
You just
Do I hold
file
on
it.
to it?
You read it into the record and you file it. If the commissioners have any concerns, they note it.
Okay.
How close was that to the wetlands?
I can pass this around so you can see. It's in the buffer. In the buffer is what it says, so. The map is not very,
So we'll be getting an exemption, is that what you're saying?
it's not very descriptive.
Yeah,
They will be
there's
getting
two
the
way on the
25.
roads, as you know, the one from Highland Lakes going up to Barry Lakes, and then there's a wayway on the road off of 638. So, and then the one going up to Barry Lakes, right next to Lake Wanda, and then the other wayway on the road, there is low-lying ground in that area, so just for clarity, you may want to...
Well, this will be subject to DEP approval. So this is beyond really the jurisdiction of the township, really.
Sure.
I'm just curious, did the buffer, I don't know when the buffer, did that ever change as far as what was established with the DEP when this was done?
The DEP will confirm on their end what they believe is the buffer. They have, they have their own maps that they go by. Whether there'll be another requirement for DEP to come out and reconfirm, that may happen, right, Mike?
Yes.
That may happen. Yeah, they usually stay on top of it best they can, we hope, right?
Yeah, it's hard to tell from this whether
So it's not that they're trying to do a new septic in a
They
buffer, it's a
remember.
malfunctioning septic
Right.
that needs to be repaired. So the state is usually amenable to those types of repairs happening. So, okay? Okay, so at this point, I'd just like to address the fact that I know that there was quite an aggressive agenda that was scheduled before I was appointed to the commission. First of all, I want to thank the public, and I want to say hello to everyone here on the commission. I want to acknowledge the mayor for the appointment. I didn't ask for the appointment. There was a decision made to make a change, and I was asked to take the position, and I accepted. So I thought that tonight would be a good night to discuss procedure and protocol. There seems to be some back and forth, some confusion. I as a person who takes on anything, am either all in or I'm all out. And it's my intention that we learn to work together, because I'm here for the purpose of which this commission is in place for. That's my only purpose, to do a job here. And I'm assuming and hoping that that's why everyone is here as commissioners on this board as well. So, though we can talk about some other things that maybe we can plan for the next agenda, I do want to make some statements into the record regarding our procedures and protocols. Okay. I believe it's important to agree on how we will operate, to lay the groundwork so that when we go forward, we can move forward in a beneficial way that suffices the purpose of the commission. Our town code and the statutes for the commission are a pretty easy read, and I think if we just make the commitment to abide by them, we're not going to go wrong. Okay? The mayor has a directive that we partake in Vernon
May I
issues.
interrupt you for 1 second before you continue? I assume following state statutes includes our own government, correct? Including the
course it
mayor's
does,
office?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I did say town code and statutes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yes, I did. So the mayor has a directive that he would like us to focus our energy and actions on town issues. Okay. And I agree with that. And I think that there's enough for us to work on that is important and relative to our town. Now, of course, nothing's absolute, right? So suppose there is an issue that we feel that there's enough interplay or ramifications to the township itself, then I would propose that we bring the mayor in on that issue and have a discussion with him. Because when we act as a commission or a board or any committee, commission, or board that's appointed in this township, we are the face of the township. When we go out there, wherever we go, we are the face and the opinion of the town. And I think we have to be careful that when we do that we are in communication and agreement with the administration. Okay, we can't be acting as a rogue on our own committee. We are appointed by this administration, and we are here to suffice the matters of Vernon Township first and foremost.
Does mean the mayor will attend one or two of our meetings?
I can't answer for the mayor, but I do believe that he would be cooperative if we need his involvement and assistance, that he will definitely, come and join us. If we need that time with him, of course.
Well, I would personally
I don't see why
like
he
to have Mayor Shortway attend several of our meetings. In particular, have him, perhaps if he's available, come to the next meeting so he can explain exactly what his agenda is.
I don't think he's speaking of a particular agenda. I think he's
Well,
speaking.
I've read other things over the past 6 months, and I'm not gonna judge because I wanna hear what the man has to say.
Well, he
But
has.
it's important to get the direction that he envisions, rather than having to read it in the papers, and we all know how newspapers are accurate in their reporting.
Well, I don't want to speak for him at this time.
I know you don't wanna
And
speak for him.
if you want to speak about inviting him, we could speak about that
That's
as a commission.
exactly what I was saying.
And put that out there. But, may I go through some of the things I want to
Sure.
speak of before we get to that, okay? So again, nothing's absolute. And if we want to, venture out of the boundaries on an issue, I would like to hope that this commission could agree that we get a buy-in from the mayor and the administration, so that when we're out there, our face is congruent with what this administration is looking to put out there as our reputation and as our stand in the community. Okay?
Well, I think some things we might not always agree on, and that's why you have a certain committee, so you get first opinions, and we might not all be in agreement with what the mayor wants, and that's what a part of our,
And
mission is as
we'll
well.
address those things as they move along, right? That's really all we can say.
Which is why
Right?
Which is
So-
why I wanna see the mayor, perhaps at the next meeting or the one thereafter, come here and just give us a idea of what his vision is.
Okay, your opinion is understood.
I
May I
know it's
continue, Rich?
Oh, I thought you were done.
I'm not, no, I'm not done. And please, address, just the chair to speak. Otherwise, we're not gonna have interruptions, because then we won't get our business done.
Well, I am allowing you to speak.
Nothing from you. Are you gonna be, does everybody have the, you're handing out, so people know what the law is, what our charge is? What our
I
charge?
think Jesse handed
Okay,
that
so-
out. I printed out the code, which is on the what's on the town code. Everyone can look at
Where is
that.
that? Did you hand it out? So we can just get it.
No, I didn't hand it out.
All right.
I came to speak tonight instead of handing things
I'm
out.
just saying, everybody can read what the town code is and take it home with them, so.
So basically, I just want to say we're volunteers representing our township. That's it in a nutshell, okay? And to that, we hold our actions and behavior to the highest standards. And as the chair, I feel it's my duty to maintain proper decorum amongst the commissioners and how we deal with the public and anything other than that with the issues and persons involved in the issues. I think we need to take a look at reestablishing our roles in the commission, whether it's the chair, the commission members, or the secretary. I've listened to some of the meetings, and I have to say that I see some overlap and a lot of interruption as meetings are going on, and it probably gets very confusing for the secretary sometimes, as well as tape can seem to meander and go off schedule, off agenda. And then the meetings last longer, and sometimes you lose that of energy for the things you need to pay attention to more. That's just my opinion. So, there has been another issuance, if everyone has seen their email, from John Urson. Originally, the mayor had put out a directive regarding our efforts in working with the employees and asking for supplies or help or assistance or anything we need to do within the township itself. And he's just asking, through the attorney, a reiteration of how we operate with that. And Mike, you're aware as well with our committee, with the Greenway, that things get funneled through the chair. And then the chair makes the appeal typically to the business administrator or the mayor.
Was that letter shared with everybody?
No.
Excuse me? I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Was that letter shared with everybody?
Yeah, John sent,
I think he just sent it out to chairs of commissions or boards. I don't think he sent it out to members.
Yeah, I didn't see such a
Oh,
thing.
I apologize.
We should, that was only to chairs of
Okay.
boards and
So
commissions.
again, basically what it's reiterating is that, everyone can't be going into the town hall directing employees. Neither can the chairs. We need to have that chain of command in due respect for the people who are working here.
I'll send that to you, Jesse, and then you can share with the
Did
commission.
you get it, Jesse?
I did not.
You did not, okay. All right. I should
I'm
have
not sure I
known.
follow that, so I really want to read that letter.
Yeah, you have to read the letter from the attorney to understand what they're
Yeah.
what
Need a
they're
paper
trying.
clip, bring your own.
What is that?
There you go.
I have one.
Yeah, I don't really.
That's not what the letter says.
I don't know what it is.
It just reiterates that
We don't really go in and ask for it. I go in and get the mail. I don't
Right.
see any of these guys going in, but that's cool.
he wants it's basically he wants it funneled to the administrator.
Yeah, so like it's for other commissions.
Yeah,
Not-
it's
not-
for everybody.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
really
it's for
written to
everybody.
everybody.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
It's a general blanket,
That's fine.
mode
For
of
volunteers.
operation, let's
How much
call
time
it.
do we have, right, for
Right.
volunteers?
So to my point, I would like to make a couple of statements into the record regarding how we move forward. It would be my hope that I would have an agreement in part or mostly from the rest of the commissioners here, that we will maintain the integrity of the environmental commission meetings, which I find we are doing perfectly at the moment. So both during and in preparation when we're dealing with issues as well. The chair conducts the meetings. Members will speak when recognized to allow clarity and avoid interruptions. Is that a hard and fast thing? Well, it doesn't really have to be, but we have to keep some sort of order so that everyone gets a chance to be heard. Not the same person always talking, just so that it's fair for everyone, okay? Members of the public will speak when acknowledged during the public session. The minutes will be transcribed by the secretary, and those minutes will avoid opinion, insinuations, and stick to facts and statements only. The secretary will prepare the agenda as submitted to the secretary by the chair. So I don't know how you've been doing it, but how I would like to see it done to keep it in more orderly fashion is if we can discuss agenda items, like say tonight for the next meeting, that's fine. Or send it to the chair to send to the secretary, so that everybody's not bombarding the secretary with a listing of 20,000 things. There has to be some sort of order regarding that agenda being created. Okay?
Excuse me, let me
Yes.
just say that no one ever contacts the secretary about agenda items.
I
Only
don't
the
know. I'm
chair.
just, I'm newly.
Only the chair sends the agenda items.
Right. Okay. Which is what we did with this first meeting
I
for
don't
me.
mean to interrupt you, but.
Go right ahead.
Does that mean, so if we have an item we want on the agenda, you're going to put it on, correct?
You will send it to me to give it to the secretary.
Okay,
Mhm.
so if we have an agenda to go on that we feel is important, we're gonna send it to you and it's gonna go on the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
very good.
Okay. And of course, then the secretary will submit it to the township 48 hours in advance, as we all know, and as well to all the commissioners, okay? I would ask that the secretary, when sending any emails out, not to exclude any commissioners from the emails. So everyone's copied at all times, just reiterating, just whatever, okay? And when an email is sent to council members, that it be sent to all 5 council, okay? I think that's a fair request.
What was the latest one?
That when an email is copied to council, it's copied to all 5 council members. Okay. I would like to see all correspondence and letters drafted by the secretary only occur with direction from the chair and commissioners. And a draft copy will be sent to the chair for approval before any correspondence is sent out. Just a final look-see so that it conforms to what was discussed at the meetings. The agenda
Excuse me,
item,
But,
go ahead.
sorry, the secretary never drafts anything unless the commission directs.
Okay, fine. And then the draft will come to the chair before it's sent to other parties and applicants and whoever we're communicating with. Okay? Just have a final look at it. And finally, not to take up all the time in the meeting, I just want to say that I'm here to fulfill the role to the best of my ability, and I would like to hope that we can find a way to work together to stick to the missions and goals of the commission. I have a lot to learn. As you guys know, you've been up and running for quite a long time. You've been used to working together. I'm newly on board. Mike is an old timer here, but he's newly on board. Welcome, Mike, with the new group.
Thank you.
And it would be hopeful that we can all work together to make some benefits for this town. Address the things that need to be addressed, focus on the important matters that need to be focused on, and maintain our integrity at all times, so that when we go forward with an issue, we're looked at with respect.
I think we've always done that.
We always have been.
We will matter more that way. And again, I don't see it happening, and I hope it never does, but I will say this in closing: any purposeful effort to thwart proper decorum and respectful communication here will result in immediate adjournment of the meeting, because we're not going to be behaving in such a way that we're not proud of.
Right. We're not here to argue, but we can agree to disagree.
Agreed. Thank you, Doreen. Perfectly put. Okay? I'm open to any comments or questions for what I've had to say.
You're all through?
Hmm?
Okay.
Any comment to what I've had to say? That's what I'm asking. Sure, Angie.
Okay, first of all, since my appointment by the last mayor, I have seen us abide by all the laws. And we have been working in unison. I don't want to sound offensive, but I think that you said, you told us that we should, or we have.
I'm saying we should. I'm newly on board now,
Well,
so
you're wholeheartedly welcome.
I'm
to this
speaking first
meeting.
person, so
Okay.
no insult intended, for sure.
And as far as my idea about environmental commissions, and before I do anything, I research it very thoroughly. And it's my understanding that, yes, we focus on town issues, but that's really not our role. We actually advise the mayor. It doesn't come from the mayor to us. The mayor can certainly interact with us, and I welcome the mayor. I've been waiting for the mayor to come to meetings. But we're actually empowered to interact with neighboring communities to deal with state and local issues.
Mhm,
And I
understood.
have felt that we have done that, and we have actually garnered the respect of a lot of different organizations in New Jersey, the Sierra Club, other organizations, and I like that. And Bear Group respects this commission, really like that. It's worked quite well.
I hear you and agree, but can you also agree that working in unison with the township and administration on these issues only gives us more strength and power to move forward?
Absolutely, but I don't see really anything that's really out of bounds that we've
Okay.
done or anything. I see that as if what somebody else might perceive as out of bounds might be exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
It could be all opinion,
Yeah.
not right. Everyone has entitled to their opinion.
All right,
Doreen.
so my comment is, so we talk about the rules and regulations that we're supposed to follow, and that we're not supposed to have outside communication about, issues that we're discussing, supposed to be within the public realm. Perhaps I thought that your email back and forth, with our secretary was out of that realm. That's just my opinion about not going to NWAC, things of that nature. I think maybe you should have waited for the meeting tonight to say that.
Okay. I'll accept that, thank you. And basically, you can't have commissioners all, communicating by email. That's a fact.
Right.
That was more of a one-on-one, which is not, not out of a quorum, okay? The secretary is not a member, so there's no violation there of conducting a meeting when a chair is speaking with the secretary.
Well, I don't know if.
Would you agree with
Everyone was
that?
copied. Everyone was copied.
I
And there was actions taken and everyone was copied.
And those actions were by vote? What actions were taken?
Well, first of all.
A chair has the right to cancel a meeting, set an agenda, set the agenda and copy everyone, so what actions are we speaking?
I think you said.
That's just setting up your meeting.
I think you would say
So they were
nobody's
prohibited.
supposed to go on the property, and, you went a little bit more into detail. I
That
think,
couldn't
perhaps.
wait for a meeting, I'm sorry, Doreen.
I'm
Honestly,
just
that,
saying,
there's
that's
going, I hear what you're saying,
Protocol.
but my communication with the attorney that day and what I saw in script made me a little bit alarmed that I felt I had to speak immediately that day. Because that was protecting the township, I felt, from liability. So,
It should be the other way around.
it's debatable, call it what you want. I would do it again, actually, if I thought I had
I would
to.
have to make a comment to that. I mean, the way this was stated in here, the way I read it, was the fact that there was the side taken and a side not heard. The side taken was with the attorney, the side not heard was the rest of the commission members.
We couldn't discuss anything in fairness, Dale, right? We could not discuss things as a group until we got here.
I feel it could have been worded a little differently, because this matter is on hold until we can speak about it in our commission meeting. Or we
Okay, but
hold a
I
special
disagree
meeting
with you,
or
a
whatever.
side was taken. I took no, I have no side. I don't have any information to have a side yet, to be honest.
I'm just saying, that's how I read it.
I'm sorry, okay, then that's how.
Sally, I don't know you, so.
You're entitled to read it the way you wish, but for me, I have no side because I have no information yet to have a side. And I'm not here to take sides prematurely. I have to get a leg up on the information regarding that property and the issues that have gone on up there.
And I think there's people here that can help fill in with that.
And I hope-
Help with that meeting with Mr. Malley, because they've already spoken.
And that's what I do need. That's what we all need. We need an
Okay.
understanding as to what has been going on. Most of you know, because you've been involved.
Mhm.
We're newly on the commission, so we need to get a leg up on the information. But we are privy to hearing all sides as well, so that we can, judge for ourselves as well.
Well, I can tell you one thing, when I was at the initial approved meeting with Mr. Mallier and a few other people, Bev, myself, and I think Jesse Francis, and somebody else, he had a couple, they said that we were welcome to come back in June 1st.
Yeah, I saw some of the correspondence, and things
So-
were kind of a little bit
They had been
contradicting.
They had been given a long leeway
Right.
for us to come back, so.
So fair to say, this should be an agenda item for our next meeting.
Yes.
Is everybody
I agree.
open to that? We will definitely get that on the agenda for the next.
Thank you.
Okay, in fairness to move on,
So,
because that's gonna take time, that issue, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Rich?
just so you know, you're absolutely correct in saying that this is a long-term issue. It's been going on for a while, and prior to my tenure on this committee. There is a lot that you and Mike need to be brought up on. It's
And
more
that's what
than-
we're here for.
So, just be aware of that.
Mm-hmm. No, we are aware of that, I'm sure. I don't want to speak for Mike, but.
I know, you're aware, but there's more than meets the eye.
There
But
always
you'll be
is.
brought, I know there is,
Mhm.
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
So that
you'll
will
be brought
definitely
up
be
on
an
it.
agenda item for our next meeting, and it'll probably take a fair block of time. Is that fair to say?
Yes, and I have pictures which I can help fill in the gaps.
Yes,
for you.
please.
Is this- I have
Bring
a
everything
question.
we need to get up to speed.
Is
Okay?
this document is that helpful
What is
to
it?
have?
That's why I put it in there, so that you knew the background.
Is this helpful?
And if you look at the very last paragraph, you'll see that the land use board directed National Winter Activity Center to meet with the Environmental Commission, and the engineer said that has not happened and it has to happen. So as the
Right.
secretary of this commission, Mr. Mallier told them to come back on June 1st,
Mhm.
and then prohibited them from coming anytime they tried.
Which to me was very disingenuous.
So at first, he said he welcomed you there,
Yes.
and then he changed
Right.
his mind.
Correct. Prohibited them, right.
Well, in my
Actually, we
effort,
spoke about doing some water testing as well. But where the stream was running, the silt was running into the brook stream.
Oh,
Well, that's
show
still,
some photos
that's
of that.
still in there, so I mean, it's.
Bob, I'm sure we can talk about that next
Yeah,
week.
we'll go ahead.
We'll talk about that next
Yeah,
week.
right.
But this is good to read. This is good for our background information. Thank you.
That's why I put it in there.
Thank you, Jesse.
So, okay, so under new business, I think we discussed, we discussed A and B. So item number C under new business, creation of subcommittees. I'm not saying we need to create subcommittees of any specific issues tonight, but I wanted to throw it out there as a method by which we can deal with the business of the commission. We've done that with the Greenway Committee, and it's worked very well, where, I mean, we're a committee of 9 members here. It's a lot of man and woman power. But there are times when you divide those efforts up and you can cover more ground. And sometimes it's easier to work in smaller groups with certain issues as well. And likewise, when you go to a site visit, you know, and I've heard, you know, the complaints from the mountain, you know, about they didn't want the whole commission there, okay? So maybe if there's a subcommittee, then there could be no pushback to that angle, that they can't accommodate 9 people and get you up the mountain.
Maybe when we get to whatever subject matter is, you know, you're talking about whatever issue we're working on, we can decide that in there.
Right, as we confront our issues, then maybe discuss who's most interested, who's most qualified, who's most energetic for it, and spearhead issues
Sometimes you
independently.
don't always have the same person available, that's why it's 9, good to have 9 different people and 9
Right.
minds to get input from.
Right.
So I don't know if I'm 100% on board with subcommittees, but,
But we can discuss it, we can discuss the pros and cons. I think, personally I think there's more pros than cons, but certainly open to hearing everybody's opinions about that, you know. What do you think? Let's do a round robin.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think subcommittees, in general, depending on what the topic is, on rare occasion can be very beneficial. Now, strictly speaking for this committee, I mean, you know, for myself, but as far as this committee goes, from what I've seen, I would say a subcommittee would be probably more of a con than a pro. And the reason I say that is that, as you're aware, the Environmental Committee and the Land Use Board do have a communication on a bi-weekly basis,
Right,
etc.
we have a liaison for that.
Correct. Subcommittees, we all know, they do add another layer of bureaucracy or red tape, and that's a given. And I'm not saying just for Vernon, it's all over.
Well,
And-
I'm not talking about anything official appointed by the mayor.
No, I'm not
Just
saying,
on
I'm
a
not
very,
saying, I'm not
you
saying
know,
anything about the council or the mayor.
low level, amongst ourselves,
But-
informal,
but my-
just 3 people can go or 2 people can go,
But my-
and then bring that information back.
But my point is that, it adds another layer of bureaucracy, so to speak, and we already, and there will be times when a subcommittee will be to the detriment of the public and maybe business interests in terms of creating additional delay.
Well, a subcommittee will not speak independently of this commission.
I know, but let's say we form a subcommittee to investigate Project X going on down the street. That adds another month, maybe another 2 or 3 by the time it gets discussed, whereas the committee as a whole, if we can do a site visit as a whole, or have a discussion as a whole, it just expedites the process. And again, we're an advisory board to the council and to the mayor. So I'm not saying subcommittees are all bad, they're
Yeah,
not.
and my suggestion is
But-
not to exclude anyone, it's to cover more ground in a simplified way.
Correct,
That-
but again,
that would be
depending
good.
on what the subject matter is, you send 2 folks out, and sometimes it's better to have 9 sets of eyes so we all know what we're talking about.
And there may be those times,
And
nothing's
I see that
absolute.
more than it would be.
I think you guys are doing great if you're getting all 9 people together at any one given point, that's pretty good.
I think that's
Days and dates
the
and
whole
this
thing.
and that.
The whole thing about this is, it naturally becomes subcommittees in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
We all speak about it, we all have good intentions of trying to meet at the same time to go somewhere. And not everybody can come or show.
Sure.
And it ends up being maybe a 3 or 4 person group of people, so, it really ends up that way anyway.
Right. And by the way, just for clarity on that, it can only be more than 2 members if it's a legally posted site meeting schedule, right? Otherwise, a
William
quorum.
Chair. Okay, well, keep in mind that the reason why you advertise the site inspections is because the MLUL says that on a site inspection, all of the members can attend.
Okay.
And you can't have, if it's not advertised, you can't have more than five, because you're, well, no,
I
you're
thought more
7
than.
members.
Oh, okay, all right.
You're 7 members, so it would be 3.
Okay.
More than 3 would be a quorum. That's why site inspections are advertised, because they're supposed to be for the whole commission. And
Or,
they have been
or at least so
advertised.
more than 3 can go.
Right.
Either
And they
way.
were all advertised at the beginning of the year.
Right, right. But then there are going to be times perhaps when a site visit has to be like now, and
Mhm.
it's not on the schedule. And then in that case,
Can't
it's
have more
limited.
than-
Right, okay, just so everyone's on the same, and myself as well. We need clarity on that, okay. All right. How do you feel, Ed, about subcommittees?
I think they're a very good idea. They are warranted in certain situations, they're not warranted in others. It's something the commission's gonna have to decide to do as the topics come up.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
that, for the most part, I think they're beneficial. I've been part of them before. It cuts out a lot of the fat, so to speak, and it brings back 5 or 6 or 7 key points back to the entire group. And then the entire group can evaluate and raise questions.
Right, right.
For things that have been missed. So yes, they do have their validity in many areas, but again, case-by-case basis.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike, do you want to speak to it being
Yeah,
worked that way?
that is how we try to do it with the Greenway Committee. And when we set up the subcommittees in the beginning, the way I tried to set up the subcommittees is I tried to identify expertise on the group and what they would possibly be interested in, and then work as a subcommittee. And for the most part, that worked okay, but it really depends on what the topics are, what you have to identify what the priorities are for the commission. And once you
flux a little bit.
yeah, and then it changes, and then someone might get involved with another group if that's the case. But it does help with getting information in between meetings and discussion amongst yourselves and bringing back that information back to the group. And like Ed says,
it seems to move things.
it moves it faster, and then when it comes back to an official commission meeting, the subcommittees report back to the entire group, and then the entire group discusses it and makes a decision.
Right. How do you feel, Beverly?
Well, we haven't really done that, but we've had people who are interested and more knowledgeable in different areas, and those are the people that would be going if it's a pipeline issue, of course.
Kind of self-imposed subcommittee.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if somebody's more knowledgeable in pipelines and looking for toxins and recognizing spills and being able to deal with that issue, that person should be highly considered to do that. So I think it could be
Right.
possibly keeping someone out of not, I don't want to say passion, but keeping someone from doing work that they do well.
Right,
Because
right.
they're looked over for someone. I think that if it ever came to that,
Well, a
it should be-
subcommittee would not be appointed by the chairs per se, it would be a volunteer.
Right.
Like who's more interested, who's more
Yeah,
qualified.
we can do open discussion, and we all know each other here. We know who's on. We're all on the same page, and some things you do need a lot of eyes on. I say to send 3 people to look for something as big as pipeline issues to cover 3-4 miles. You need more people. Depends what you're looking for. That issue, and of course, when we went up to the activity center, it was good that we had a couple different people looking. People saw, down areas where things were able to get through where they weren't up. Just happened to look over and see the stream filled with 4 feet of silt, obviously, knowing that, then someone else spotted where it was coming from, so.
Right.
I can't say for sure.
Cover more ground.
Yeah, so I think it's better, and I would never limit it to 2 people. It should be on a volunteer basis and make the best decision made for that person, for that situation. But I don't think anybody should be told, no, you can't work on that because you're not in that group. I don't
No,
know
no one
about that.
suggested that either.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know about that.
How do you, anybody want to add anything to it down here? Angie?
I like what Dale had to say, and Rich, but also Ed. I've worked for nonprofit organizations for over 35 years. I really see that in theory, subcommittees can work very well, but in practice, they can be exclusionary. And as long as we maintain like a fluid, because
Mhm.
I have, personally, I am caring for a mother who has dementia. So I may be able to go to someplace, like I may be able to go to a site visit one day and not another, but I hate to be excluded because I wasn't on that subject.
Yeah. No,
Because
the
my
purpose would
interest
not
is
be
in
for
learning.
exclusion. It would be.
I want to learn everything because I'm still relatively new. So,
How long have you been on?
since January or
Okay.
December.
We should go over that as well. We should go on when everybody was appointed, so you know that.
Okay.
You know, I don't remember when all I know is I in December of this year.
Okay.
I don't think you know the terms and everything.
Well, I know what the terms say, and I have a feel, I know who's been on for years and who, like Angie and Laura. And we're brand new, you know that. But you just reminded me of something I would like to have, and I would like to have contacts for everybody, both cell phone and email. There was a little bit back and forth with incorrect emails. I want to make sure that we have all the
I'll
correct.
send you a copy of the roster.
And are there cell phone contacts with that? Cell phone?
Let me see,
To whomever wanted to give a cell phone number, yeah.
Okay.
I think pretty much everyone.
If you could send that to me, I would appreciate that, okay. All right. Diane? Yeah.
I think in a very small way, we already were doing that. Doreen had done a tremendous amount of great research on the water stuff.
water usage?
The water usage, and you did all that research on, their stuff that you knew. I mean, as we were going through the year, we not assigned committees, but we all.
No, people gravitate
and
to
we
what
And we brought that
interests them,
information
right.
back, so we're already pretty much doing this.
Right, okay, all right.
You know, so it just goes right in of sharing and learning.
Right. So it'd be fair to say that we're open to subcommittees in a flux manner, depending on the issues, and whether we feel a subcommittee would be beneficial or not. Is that fair to say, based on what
Well, I
everybody
would
else
say
said?
at a given topic, we would have a vote.
Right.
then on it.
Right.
See if we're in agreement or not in agreement on a specific topic.
Sure.
Okay. So I would say the majority of us are open to a subcommittee idea, right? Setting priorities for the Environmental Commission. Now, I know, I don't want you to think I'm, overstepping myself by saying that, because I know you guys have been doing that. But I would like to have a reestablishment of that. Maybe at our next meeting, we could talk about what are the current priorities, what should be our priorities going forward. So everyone could think about that and bring that to the next meeting. And
As far as points of topic, you mean?
rather than, I don't want to get into the minutia of it tonight, but yeah, I mean, there's been lots of issues that you all have been working on. We're aware of that. What are your priorities? As the chair, I would like to know what they are. At what point some of these issues are at. Maybe some of them are closed and almost finished, hopefully. And maybe you're looking at some new things coming up. I don't know. I would like to know. Okay?
And some things are ongoing.
And most are ongoing, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, fair to say. So, okay, so Diane combined number 9 with number 6, which we're gonna do in the future. Jesse on the agenda, right? Combine the 2 entries there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so last but not least, number 8 under new business, item number 8. I had intended a while back to to come to one of your meetings and correct the record, and I was informed how to do that, and I never came, but I'm here now. So because I'm here now, I would like to address 2 sets of minutes in which I would like to speak about a correction, okay? The minutes of January 12th. I have page 5 of 8, so I don't know how everybody's font is going to print out the pages, but there was an entry that says, and I'm going to read it into the record. Ms. Budz also noted that former Mayor Sally Rinker wanted the township to buy her 19 acres.
Or, excuse me,
14.
where on the minutes that,
I didn't bring copies, they're on, you have the minutes.
Yeah, I know.
You guys approved these minutes.
I understand that, he's asking for a little clarity.
It's a brief 2 sentences, so
What page
allow
is
me to
it,
just
Sally?
read it.
What page is it
What
on?
page?
Page 5 of 8 of the January 12th minutes.
That's easy enough.
My printed copy.
It had been on the agenda for discussion tonight, so. And you know, we're not going to get into that property in any way, shape, or form tonight. Okay, so I don't mean to bring this up.
Can I say something? Also protocol, I don't think that you could legally change the minutes that were voted upon and.
We're gonna find out about that, Doreen, with legal counsel.
Well,
then.
what I was going to say is you could make commissioner comments at the end of the meeting to clarify whatever you feel you need to clarify. But you cannot change meeting minutes that were voted upon and were.
I beg to differ with you. I was given other information on that. So I will bring that forward at the next meeting, okay?
Well, then maybe you should bring this forward at the next meeting at the same time.
No, I would like to, it's on the agenda tonight, so as the chair, I would like to address what I have on the agenda. Is that okay with you? Because I'm going to.
I guess, well, wait a
Okay.
minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's.
It's on the agenda for tonight.
That's the attitude, that's.
It's not an attitude, you're interrupting. I'm trying to say 2 sentences.
Sally, go ahead.
And I've been interrupted twice.
It's all right, go ahead.
Well,
Okay,
just to
so-
tell you
It's
that I don't
something
think
that I
you could do
said.
that.
Let's call the meeting to order and let me proceed,
I
please.
didn't look at the email, I apologize, but if it's something that I said and
That's okay.
if it's
I'll
not
let you read
correct,
it with
I will
me.
correct it tonight.
Because it's
If it's correct.
Because it's you, read it with me, okay?
No, go ahead.
So Ms. Budz noted that former Mayor Sally Rinker wanted the township to buy her 19 acres, 14 acres wetlands, and 5 acres uplands. Those numbers are wrong, but that's not the big deal for me here. On Maple Grange Road for $250,000. The town was considering the purchase and had its appraised value at $150,000. Both of those numbers are greatly incorrect. And because there's so much static about this property, I feel it's very important for both myself as a private person who own this property and is firsthand knowledgeable of all this information with proof that the record will be corrected on these numbers. Okay, so just for everyone's interest here, okay, the sale price of which the town gave me a contract for was $225,000, not $250,000. I have that contract here. Want to look at it?
Wait,
Look at it.
can you read, hold on a second.
And the appraisal came in at $248,000, not $150,000. So the way this is stated is giving an inference and appearance
I'm
of
sorry, what
something.
was the appraisal?
The appraisal was $248,000. So these numbers are not a little wrong, they're a lot wrong. And I personally want the record corrected on those numbers, okay?
Let's read that one more time.
Sure.
I'm gonna comment as your secretary, because I'm the one doing the minutes.
Sure, go ahead.
I do not believe that you can correct minutes that a prior commission has approved. You can put it to a vote, however, you can have it noted at this meeting that that information is incorrect. And that
It
will
sounds
get
like there's
to the
been
minutes
discussion
again.
about this mode of operation for these minutes tonight, but that's okay. I will come back at the next meeting with legal counsel on it, okay?
Okay, I just want you to be clear that what I'm saying is that if those numbers are incorrect, you certainly are valid in wanting them corrected. You just cannot ask this commission to correct something they approved months ago. But I would suggest that they research it And certainly add it in the minutes of this month's meeting, that you wished for it to be corrected.
I'm going to read it into the record tonight, and I will come back with legal opinion and direction at the next meeting.
All right.
Okay, is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was, just to make this clear, there was no discussion. This is how we were told things supposed to happen. If we voted on it.
Okay, that's fine.
No discussion, so you know.
It may or may not be correct.
That's why I said sometimes you put it in the commissioner comments if you want to put something in that's on or not on the agenda.
It may, but your assertion may or may not be correct. So I'm going to get legal opinion in the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay? All right. And just in closing up the March 8th minutes, 2006, we had Craig Williams come before this commission and make
You
certain.
mean 2016, right?
2016, I apologize. 2016, yes. Craig Williams came before this commission and also made statements that I'm actually going to withdraw my effort to correct these minutes, only because he has contradicted himself many times, and he said the Mascot property formerly owned by Sally Rinker was up for consideration but had some negatives, and the Environmental Commission and Town Council did not support buying the property. Well, that's wrong. That's totally incorrect. But I'm going to let Craig Williams have his own opinions, because I find that they can vary from time to time and place to place. So I'm not going to push for that change. But the other one, most certainly, I will come back next week on those facts and figures on the property. Okay?
We're talking, what date are we talking about, I'm just saying, do you want to go further?
These are in your minutes.
Yeah,
so-
no, but do you want to go further
I
into?
think that was when Craig Williams came before this commission.
That was March 8th. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying, this was, I want to listen to the recording of this.
Okay, fair enough.
Because there was more that was led into this. Have you listened to the recording?
I did.
Okay,
You
might
know
want
what?
to, because
I
I'm
might
just
want to,
saying-
but I'm relying on the minutes of your
I
secretary.
understand that, but maybe just for both of us.
Also,
because-
please understand that he made many statements that night that were incorrect.
Actually,
But the
Beverly's
minutes-
speaking of her statements in January right now, so,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's okay.
I'm just saying,
When was?
The
when
minutes
was this-
reflected what he
when was this report,
said.
Given to you, I mean, it's the
What
value,
report?
whatever you have is showing the value of the property. You have something in here that's going,
There are documents in the
I would
town
say
that
what-
you can Oprah.
I don't want to do that, I'm saying, what is the date here that what are the dates of these documents?
2009.
2009.
Yes,
Okay.
2009.
Because I didn't even know you, I don't think I met you till 2010. So I didn't, I was just going by information that was given to me in 2000.
I understand that. And I'm not blaming you for incorrect information. If
No, no, it's
you
not- I would-
received incorrect information, that's fine.
I know, but it was 275, and that was.
This world is full of incorrect
It was
information.
275. It was 275, and that was in 2011, so I was
But
just going by that.
I would like a chance to correct that record, that's all. Okay, so let's move on from that. I'll come back to that at the next meeting if I have to. Okay? So, let's move for approval of your meeting minutes of May 10, 2016. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of May 10, 2016?
I make a motion.
Motion made by Dale. Do we have a second? Second by Angie. Is there any discussion, amendments, disagreements, changes?
I believe I have to abstain. Just got out of surgery a couple of days before. Was I here for May?
You were, yes, you were.
Okay.
yeah, you were not there.
I was not there, that's what I thought.
Angie was
May
not.
10th meetings.
Jesse, can you clarify for everyone, because
Angie
there's probably a
and
number of us
Diane were
can't
not.
vote.
Yeah, Dale, you have the minutes in front of you?
Yes.
Who was present?
Beverly, Rich,
Okay.
Okay.
myself, Doreen, and Ed.
Okay, so then Angie can't vote. Was Diane there? I don't have the minutes.
No, Diane was not here.
So then only Doreen, Dale, Beverly, and Ed can vote. All right, so let me do a roll call vote. Beverly,
Yes.
Dale Disney,
Yes.
Doreen Edwards,
Yes.
and Ed Mitch.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you call the other members to abstain, or no?
No, because they can't vote on it.
Well, that's why we would abstain, right?
Well, no, they just don't vote.
Okay,
I mean, that's how we do it at the land use board.
Yeah, we're not
meetings all the
eligible,
time.
so we don't.
okay. Well, you leave out the ineligible if they're alternates. But if you have full members, I believe they vote and abstain.
That's not how we do it in the land use board.
That doesn't
If you
mean
look at
it's
the land
right.
use board agenda, it always states which members are eligible to vote. But I will
Okay.
note in the minutes.
Yeah, let's
I'll
look
note in
into
the
that,
minutes
just for
who was
clarity.
absent.
Yeah, ask your legal counsel.
Okay. All right, and do we have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of June 14th, 2016?
Make a motion.
Motion by Rich Carson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Yes.
Sec-
Okay, go ahead.
Beverly
Bev.
B, yes, second by Budz. Any discussion or any interesting comment on the minutes?
Somebody, and do you have that in front of you, Dale, to see who was there?
Yeah, absent was Ed, of course, Alyssa and Diane.
Okay, so roll call vote would be Doreen Edwards,
Yes.
Dale Disney,
Yes.
Angie Metler,
Yes.
Beverly Budz.
Yes.
Rich Carson,
Yes.
and Ed Mitch.
No, Ed was absent.
Ed was not there?
Correct.
Okay, so Ed's not voting. Okay, thank you.
Claimed he was working.
Okay, yeah, that's right, the June meeting, you're right.
Allegedly.
Sorry, that was our last, yeah, okay.
Always work.
Okay, commissioners' comments. Start with you, Doreen?
Yeah, I was, thank you, reading a few articles, about our town, our schools in our town. I'm very proud of them. There was an article in the AIM, Friday, August 5th, about Rolling Hills, how they have a sensory garden that has been certified and registered by Monarch Watch as an official Monarch Way station for the butterflies. It provides milkweeds, nectar sources, and shelter needed to sustain monarch butterflies throughout their annual cycle. I think that's great that they're doing that with the kids at a younger age, get them involved in the environment. And the other thing, I came across an old article in 2014 about Vernon Township High School, that they ranked among the top communities to support music. And very proud of them as well for doing this. And I would like to say, going forward, I hope at some point in time that we could accommodate them a little bit better with venues.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
That's good thought, yeah. Dale, any comments?
Not really. I guess I have a question, and I probably should have asked this a long time ago, but we've had a few readings of resolutions, and they, I guess, go into a black hole, or I don't know where they go. I certainly would like the feedback. Are they dead? Are they sitting, approved, or what? How that happens. So we had three that we did in, I think, the June timeframe.
I remember, I believe I was present.
Yeah, so, you know, I know the one that I read was, I felt was important, and that was about the law, you know, not that any of the others weren't. I'd certainly like to, you know, kind of follow up with that, and yes, we worked with others outside of the town on the issues that really would be coming to our town, which is, you know, from Sparta Mountain Trails lead to Hamburg and on to us. And one of the things that was involved with that was the Audubon, which also has its presence here in this town. It surrounds a piece of our open space property.
Yes.
And the reason for reading that was kind of a warning that this could come, something should be put in place and not allow it. Hardiston sent a letter, copied all the towns in Sussex County, because they came to the game plan. And I can bring a copy next time, but should be read and understood.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't want to look up at that mountain up there behind Santa's Road and see trees going down, or logging trucks going down that road. I've been there, I've walked it. It's, I don't don't think that's such an old forest that needs to have trees come in.
Yeah.
If that's their intent, and they don't have to have open public records, they can just plan this out and then throw it upon the town.
So you bring up a point that does relate to the interplay that an issue outside our borders, can have repercussions here at some point, perhaps. So.
I mean, we learned a lot about it, like, a few of us went to a meeting, that was about it, including, the council chairman, he was there as well. So I'm sure he understands the impact of this.
I was going to ask about the resolutions too, because I spoke obviously about the bears a couple of months ago there, and I would like to see the bathing resolution resolved. I too am very strong opponent to logging in the state, and I know that Senator Bob Smith at the state level in the Senate is pushing for logging along with the Audubon Society. And he has legislation introduced that is packaged under forest stewardship. So I happen to know by going to Trenton a lot on this issue that legislators are inundated with bills. They get $3,000 a year and they can't know anything. So when somebody packages something under forest stewardship, it can just go very quickly and be approved. I would also like to see our term issues, our environmental commissioners' term issues clarified. And at the town council meeting last night, another local resident asked the town council if they would be interested in addressing a resolution or introducing a resolution that would prohibit bear hunting on properties that are owned by Vernon. It would be more symbolic because in 2015, the public comment period, 92.4% of the public comments received opposed this hunt. How anybody feels about hunting is not an issue because this is not an anti-hunt resolution. It has a lot to do with safety. I didn't address safety last night, but somebody spoke to me today about this issue and said, Ange, arrows go 184 miles per second. I'm very, very nervous about arrows in my backyard. Can town property be removed? So residents are expressing an interest. As an environmentalist, I do care about the fauna as well as the flora, and my heart goes out to the bears. I happen to know lots of bear families, and it is quite disturbing to me on a moral and ethical reason. I am opposed to the bear hunt. I will say that. There's no hidden agenda there. I think everybody knows that in this room. However, the hunters have other options. They have way beyond to State Park. They have the reservoir. They have other wildlife management areas. Other towns like Quantick and Butler have passed resolutions that, removing their lands. And it's like meeting us halfway. Meeting us halfway because there was so much public opposition to this. And that's it. Thank you. Oh, can we possibly do a resolution with the environmental commission? Because in 2000, let me read into the record. In 2000, I was here. I testified before the Vernon Township Environmental Commission, and it says, "Be it resolved that the Vernon Township Environmental Commission expresses its opposition to the proposed bear hunt as proposed by the New Jersey Fish and Game Division. Furthermore, the Vernon Township Environmental Commission endorses Mr. Stephen Searles of BearAffairs.com recommendations that Vernon adopt practices that discourage bears from relying on man-made feeding opportunities, that Vernon residents implement aversive techniques, and it's urged that an expanded public awareness program be conducted in our community." That was 16 years ago. It would be nice if we could do it again. I'm not worded quite like this. I would be willing to craft
Why don't
a
we put
resolution.
your issue on the agenda for the next
Okay,
meeting?
thank
Is
you.
everybody in agreement with that?
Sure.
Okay. And that would be in regards to proposing a resolution
Proposing a resolution.
to,
A touch of it,
I'm sorry, that resolution would be about, not bear hunting, but hunting on
To remove
township-owned
township
land.
property
Yeah.
from,
Thank you.
right.
Thank you very much.
All right, so make sure you get with me, I'm writing it down, but remind me, we're gonna put it on the agenda. Diane?
No, I'm pretty good.
You're good?
Yeah.
That's good, you're
It's
good.
early, I'm still awake. So I'm good.
Beverly?
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, I would like to make a motion tonight to put back on the agenda for the September meeting, a few items from the August 9th meeting. That would be, let me see, A would be the National Winter Activity Center.
July 26th meeting?
Yes, I'm sorry, July.
Why don't you do them individually?
Yeah, okay, let's do that. July 26th, 2016 meeting. A is the National Winter Activity Center and scheduled site inspection.
Yeah, we did discuss
Right,
that
we're gonna
earlier,
do
that was gonna go on the agenda.
I'll bring all the pictures, show what the concerns are, bring you guys up to speed. B, the status and terms of the environmental commission, it needs to be corrected as soon as possible. If the mayor can come and do it, that would be, that would show in good faith that he recognizes that some of these people do not, nobody, and we don't all end in December 2000.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry, Jess.
All right.
Yeah, I said, we need to correct the terms and conditions of the, yeah, so, that could be done by the mayor. He can come and do it personally, or maybe, Ms.
Well, I'd
Rinker.
like to make a point on that. That has been addressed at the council meetings. It has been addressed to the mayor and the attorney and the council.
Right.
Am I right? So is there anything more we can add to it?
Yeah, it's just, it's all wrong, so it should be, you know.
But we have no authority to affect it.
Well, but each person who was appointed has their, you know, their paperwork, and it doesn't match with what's being represented. So I think in.
So the purpose of putting it on the agenda is?
To correct the terms in fairness to the people who actually volunteered to sit in these chairs, and out of respect that they know that, you know. if
Okay,
they-
we'll discuss that then, but
Yeah.
I'm under the understanding that it is correct, because that's what the appointments were.
Not, they don't all end in December 2016. But anyways, yes, that needs to be addressed. It's becoming, it is a problem. I don't want to say it's becoming a problem, it is a problem. Okay, identification cards for commissioners. I thought that was who came up with that idea? That was wonderful. I think it's a good idea. I think, I think it's long overdue for that. That's a great idea, right?
And the purpose of those cards are for what? Identification when you do a site visit,
Yeah, that's not,
identification at
there you go.
meetings.
That's a great idea.
Actually, when I was on the commission, we had them, and they were there for site visits.
Everybody in agreement to
Yeah,
get
they
that
were
on
for
the
site
agenda?
visits.
Okay.
So they don't get arrested.
All right, you got that one, yeah?
Okay, great.
Pretty much. It's true.
And, we want to discuss the greenway and the bike path. I'd like that to be on there.
Can we split up some of these, we're not talking like deep issues
All right,
that,
let's forget the bike, the greenway.
why don't we split them up for some of them for the following meeting?
All right, well then-
And I'm just really
That's fine.
speaking in.
That's fine. Well, then we can always.
Regards for the length of the
You know, we
meeting.
can always have a special meeting too. I mean, we've done that before. These are important issues.
Special meetings are generally called for urgent matters,
Well, these are
right?
time sensitive.
I'm
So I-
sorry, what was that last one, Greenway?
Yeah, forget that one, that's not that important. Let's go to the
Okay.
Tennessee Gas Pipeline. That is important because, they're doing a lot of work up there.
We're not gonna get all this on one meeting.
Well, then that's the one that I want on there.
Well, you gotta prioritize them, Beverly, because
Okay.
we're not gonna put 10 items on the agenda
Well,
that
okay.
are each enormous unto themselves. We won't be able to give them proper time.
Okay, so let's, you know what we'll do then? I'd like to
What
make
will we do?
I'd-
We're gonna agree with what we're
I'd
gonna
like
do
to make a
here.
motion if anybody's
I'm
interested.
sorry, is that a motion?
I'd like to make a motion.
To do what?
If anybody's interested in putting these items back on the next, meeting in September. Tennessee Gas Pipeline, the status of the tree grant planting and upkeep of the trees. I'm seeing some concerns.
Now you're adding more, by the way.
Sally, you said I could pick a couple.
Do your motion, go ahead.
Okay, the status of the tree grant planting and the upkeep of the trees, because that's important for the town. If those trees die, each one costs us $300. And the National Winter Activity Center. And the terms, if you can't get the terms right, we'll try to figure that one out. But everybody, you know, you can find your original papers and bring them to show when you were appointed.
Diane, I need to read those
Yes, please, thank you, Jesse.
for the record.
I'd like to amend Beverly's motion to pare down.
Don't we have to wait for a second?
Second.
Wait, can I just clarify what the
Yes,
motion is?
go ahead, Jess.
Hey,
It's
I'm
every, it's
sorry.
every issue you discussed for the past 2 years.
No, it's not every
Okay,
issue. These
her
are ongoing
motion
issues.
is to put on the next agenda, National Winter Activity Center, Environmental Commission terms, ID cards for commissioners, Tennessee Gas Pipeline, and tree grant. Is
Right.
that everything?
Yes, Jess, but you can take off, if I have
That's your
to,
motion.
if I have to snip something off here, you can take.
Off your motion.
Oh, off, yeah.
It's not between you and the secretary, it's between the commissioners.
Doreen, did you second it?
Yes, I second.
Okay,
All right.
Okay,
let's
Further
refocus
discussion?
on
well, let me get.
what everybody's position is here. It's amongst the commissioners.
That's right,
Go ahead.
it is amongst the commissioners, and if they feel.
It's not your agenda, it's up to the commissioners.
Exactly,
Alright,
it's
so
supposed to be.
let's take a vote then, I guess.
Yeah, all right, so we have a first and a second.
And please reiterate the motion because it's gotten confusing now.
Do you want me to do it?
Yes, please,
I
it's
would-
your motion, reiterate
I
it.
would like to make a motion that on the next environmental commission meeting in September, that these items be on the agenda. Tennessee Gas Pipeline, the status of the tree grant planting and the upkeep of the trees, and the National Winter Activity Center. Just 3, Jess. And if
I'm
any-
sorry.
Just those 3.
But we already have National Winter on there.
What happened to pipeline now? You're
It's on
mixing
there.
and
No, the
matching.
pipeline is on there, and the tree grant is on there, and we can get ID cards.
ID cards is nothing, that'll take 2
that'd be
minutes.
5 minutes.
And of course, open space.
No, you know what, Beverly, you keep
Okay.
adjusting your
I
motion.
am, because I'm picking
You
3.
can't do, you
I'm
can't
picking-
keep
mine.
adjusting
And
your
let me
motion.
just get through, I didn't know.
Excuse me,
I was
I'm
gonna-
confused.
I was gonna be cut.
Excuse me, let's have some order. We're going to have a clear, simple
Okay.
motion and a second, if it calls for a second, and go from there.
Okay, you ready?
We already
So I
have a
rescind my
motion and a
second because I
Yeah,
don't
let's-
know what.
You don't even know what it's for, I know.
Because every time I put something on, we're being cut down, okay.
Because you keep adding, we're not going to get to 10 items
Okay.
that are enormous in
Sally,
one
it might
meeting.
not take as long, or you could bring it forward to the next meeting as
Okay.
well. It's not
Are the
like
ones
you
that
have
we
to-
need, the ones that I would like to see on the next agenda
Make your motion, please.
would be, the open space discussion.
Are you making a motion?
I'm making a motion that we put on the next agenda, open space discussion, Tennessee Gas Pipeline and the status of the tree grant planting and upkeep of the trees.
Can I restate
I
that so
second
the
that.
motion is clear?
You want me to say it again, Jess?
No, I want to say what I think you said.
Okay, please.
If I'm wrong, correct me.
I will, thank you.
All right, you moved to put on the agenda for the next month's meeting.
Yes.
National Winter Activity Center, but that's already on it.
Yes,
Okay. Environmental Commission terms, ID cards for commissioners.
okay, no.
No.
We're taking all that off.
Take that
No.
out.
Take all that off.
Please let her reiterate
Go
the
ahead.
motion from the beginning
Go ahead.
again.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Beverly.
Okay. Now,
Keep it like
I would
one
like
thing
to,
this
I
time.
would like to make a motion that we put on the September agenda. Open space discussion,
Go.
Tennessee Gas Pipeline, and the status of the tree grant and the upkeep of the trees.
I second that motion.
That's 3 items. Done.
No, that's 4.
We have a second.
No, that's 4, isn't it?
No, that's 3.
3.
Winter's already on it.
Okay, Environmental Commission terms is not on that, in that motion?
No.
We'll figure that out, yeah.
All right. So there are 3 things, Tennessee Gas Pipeline, status of the tree grant and the upkeep, and an open space discussion. Dale, did you second it?
Yes.
All right, seconded by Dale Disney. Any further discussion?
Yes, I have come up with an idea that I would like to see the EC pursue, and I would like to put it on the agenda.
You just did
This
the
is it.
motion for the
Chap-
agenda.
It's my.
Beverly.
It's my, it's the open space.
It's not your commission,
It's, no,
and it's
my-
not your open
It's my time
space.
to talk, though. It's my
We're-
time.
She needs to call for a
It's my
vote on
comment
this.
time, and I want to let her know.
She needs to call for a vote.
I do need to call for a vote.
I want
After I call for a vote, you can add another
just wanted to
motion.
explain.
After
Let's have
she
this-
does the
yeah.
vote.
Fine.
Control
Okay,
yourself,
after this
please.
vote, you can call for another motion.
I'm asking you to control your
Okay, folks.
behavior.
Okay, let's take
All right.
the vote then.
Vote. Beverly Budz,
You'll be leave the meeting, Beverly, so please control yourself.
Thank you.
You'll be excused from the
Okay,
meeting.
ladies,
Please be excused,
Can we-
excuse
Got
yourself.
this
Please have
one, let's
some
not.
calm down, everybody.
You can't keep proper decorum, I'll adjourn the meeting, there'll be no agenda
Did you-
until Jesse and I discuss it.
Did you call my name, Jess?
Yes.
Yes.
We have to vote to adjourn the
Okay.
meeting.
Yes, Jess.
All right. Beverly Budz, yes. Rich Carson,
Yes.
yes. Dale Disney,
Yes.
Doreen Edwards,
Yes.
Angie Metler,
Yes.
Diane Wexler,
Yes.
yes.
What are we voting on right now?
Sally Rinker,
Beverly's motion and the second. And that consists of open space, pipeline, and tree grant, right?
correct.
Okay, I say yes.
Okay. All right, now you can do your other motion, Bev. We just needed to vote on the
Thank you.
motion and the second.
No, it's not a motion, it was just an explanation of why I felt the open space could be
They're
on.
alternates.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I just wanted to explain to you guys real quickly why I thought the open space would be a good idea to talk about it again, not to be redundant with it. But I have come up with an idea that I would like to see the EC pursue, and I would like it to be on the agenda, which we just voted on, about the lack of parking for the Appalachian Trail. It's a huge problem for Vernon, and we want to continue to attract tourists to promote our trails. We have open space funds we can use to create a parking lot. Since there is a new round of allocated funds now in the Green State Acres program, I've contacted Green Acres to discuss matching funding and to see what's available for the township. I would like to propose that the EC study the feasibility of purchasing open space to create a parking lot. And that was the idea for putting that on the agenda. So we'll talk more about it, and I'll bring in some information for you guys to look at, and then we can all just think if you guys think it might be something we should pursue.
That may be kicked to the next agenda, by the way, because this is quite an agenda that we already have going. Okay?
What, I'm confused now, we just voted. to
Yeah, we
have
just
it on.
voted for three things,
things.
and the National Winter
Right.
Activity Center, right. Those are the four things on the next agenda in agreement with this
Yeah,
commission.
I think for clarification, the open space discussion was part of, but what Beverly was just talking about is part of that open space discussion. That she would like to discuss.
And that is an enormous issue, timely discussion issue, that will take an enormous block of time, I am sure.
So why don't we, I don't know if I can make a motion for this, you make the open space discussion the last part of the new business, and if we don't get to it, we carry it on to the next meeting.
That's how the meeting will go accordingly.
Okay.
I'll have proposals out, at least a good packets, that I'll give to Ms. Rinker, she can give out to everyone. So if we don't get to it, everybody can take it home and review it, and see what you think about it for the next one.
Rich, do you have any comments?
Yes, I would
I'm
like.
sorry, what just happened? Was there a motion there?
No
No.
motion,
No.
no. Rich,
Discussion.
go ahead.
Okay.
You're on.
Thank you. First, I would like to welcome Sally and Mike.
Thank you very much, Rich.
You're welcome. And I think one thing that's been in the back of my mind since I've been on this commission is that at least I personally take this position rather importantly, and I think there needs to be increased communication between maybe various committees, or definitely the mayor and council. I'm interested in what they think, what direction they may have in their viewpoints. And to me, it's very crucial to the overall atmosphere and the future of the town. That's really all I'm asking. And I hope that everything falls into place as far as especially the things we've been working on long term. And it's going to be very important that we all work together, but we all got to remember too that we all have an equal stake on this commission. So
Well
that's
put.
all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Ed?
Sure, I'll keep mine brief as well. Seconding Rich Carson's sentiments, I'd like to also welcome Mike and Sally to the commission. I would also like to add something to the agenda, maybe for January of 2017 perhaps, regarding the National Resource Inventory.
Yes.
Because if you read,
Now, there should
as
be
much
an
as I
agenda
do,
item.
that
Mhm.
might be an entire meeting of itself, because as I had asked you in the beginning of the meeting, should the council and mayor be following state statutes? Your answer was yes.
It is the
And I agree.
responsibility of this commission, as I
Absolutely.
understand, and Mike can be a
Yeah,
tremendous
sure.
help with the NRI.
There's been a lot of talk, and I've been vocal online about it as well. And there's a couple of state statutes that need to be reviewed, maybe not next month, maybe the month after. You know, that's my feeling on it. I have 9 things on my list right now that this commission needs to tackle.
Did any of them have any overlap with the next agenda?
Yeah, I mean,
Or are they 9 separate other?
No, they're the same 9. I'm just keeping notes as everybody's speaking on these things, and we have 3 or 4 months worth of agenda items here, so I'm certainly not going to add any more except for the NRI discussion. So that's all I really have. I would like to also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Bud's service to the commission as chairperson. I think she's done a wonderful job, and I look forward to working with her going forward.
Don't let us forget about your agenda items as we go forward, and as the agenda meetings open up a little bit more, please, remind us and tap us for those agenda items.
I'm most often vocal, so I will make sure I speak up.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Mike?
Okay.
Did you say initially NWAC though, when you started your comment?
National
Because-
Winter Activity Center,
Oh, okay, but then I thought you were talking to NRI.
NRI, National Resource Inventory.
Right.
Or
So
ERI,
we're talking
whatever you
about-
want to call it.
Initially, we thought about the NWAC.
Correct.
No, I have no comments. I just want to say hi to everybody, and I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody on the commission. So, we have a lot to come up to speed. So, any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Motion to adjourn?
God forbid.
Is that-
Little gremlin of the
Beverly?
Sally?
Please calm down, because we have to work together. And we will work together. Let's make it a challenge that we can overcome.
Good to meet you. Likewise. Say hi to everyone.
Not to know, I mean, it's we. Until you know it's we, it's not gonna work. Now, would you like to reiterate what you have to me?
She doesn't, yeah.
Oh, well, you don't have that. Respect the chair, okay? You need to know that. Respect the chair. That's okay, respect the chair. That little tape, the video.
Got out anything?
You as well.
Right, and if it's
You
up,
as
it's
well.
amazing.
Good night, everyone. Good night, Angie. Thank you, Angie.
Good night, everyone.